everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you all what's in the second Kiwico Panda crate box that I received. So this one is sent with me. It's curated for 3 to 4 months, I believe, but the box does say that it's for 0 to 12. So obviously the toys will have a little bit more longevity than 2 months. And what the box is designed for is to engage your little one's senses to help them discover the world. As you can kind of tell, this box got quite a beating in the mail, unfortunately. So it came into a plastic bag because I guess like it got trampled on or something, like something bad happened to this. Look at this. This is what it came like in the mail. I was like, okay. But nothing is missing, so that's all right. So I will show you kind of what's inside. So again, when you open it, this is what it would look like. I've used it for a little bit of time, but I've reconstructed it so I can show you what it looks like when you get it in the mail. So it comes with the Wonder magazine, again, as well as some cards here to show you what to do with the different toys. So it shows the different toys and then shows you how to use them. And in terms of the Wonder magazine, the articles this month are sensory learning, tooth talk. It kind of gives you a few signs of teething, fun with the 5 senses, so some ideas to try, as well as ask Dr. D. And yeah. And again, this little thing here has the pockets, and then it shows you the different toys that are in the box as well. So, again, disregard the broken box, but this is what the toys that are inside, and there's quite a few that are very interesting, so let's hop in. The first one I will share with you is the most used toy in this house, and it's this like crinkly paper panda thing with little ribbon tags. So it crinkles like this. The front looks like a panda, the back is just some prints, and it has a ton of little ribbon tags, and Kainoa loves it. So I did attach a string so I can hook it on the top of his car seat, and we just let it hang, and he like grabs it and makes it crinkle, and he absolutely loves it, and he likes it when it like turns like this. So we use it a little bit as a mobile that he can also reach. Another way we do use it is also just put it on his tummy. So I remove the little string just so it's not a choking hazard, and we put it on his tummy and like he plays with it. Unfortunately, because I believe he's teething right now, he also shoves it in his mouth a lot, so we have to wash it because like he'll just like munch on it. He actually loves chewing on fabric things, and he loves the crinkling sound. So this is by far the things he likes chewing the most compared to any other teether. So that's unfortunate for us, but we do have to wash it quite a bit. Another thing you can do with it is just like kind of explore different textures by touching the tags, but he hasn't really shown any interest towards that yet. Another thing the card does say we can do is kind of describe the sounds, but again, he's not really understanding any of that yet, but he does love the crinkling sound. So that's an amazing toy for him right now. Next toy that we have is this little teething toy here that has a wooden ring as well as some silicone beads that are kind of like a hard silicone, so they're not bendable much. And he's liked it so far, but it wouldn't really fit into his mouth quite well. So he can barely fit like one bead into his mouth, and because of the angle, it's just not ideal. But he does like to grab onto it, even though he can't really get it into his mouth. So he likes holding onto it, but then he gets frustrated because he can't really put it in his mouth. He hasn't really tried to chew the wooden part, but right now he's not into chewing hard things. He likes soft things like the crinkle paper stuff and fabric stuff, but he doesn't really like hard things to chew on, so he hasn't been chewing on that yet. But he'll be teething for the next couple years, so I'm sure eventually he'll figure it out. So one of the things that the card does suggest to do with this is to put it on the tummy to just encourage them to stretch their arms and grab the ring. We don't spend that much time doing stuff on his back, so we haven't really used it for that. You can use it for teething, obviously. Another thing they suggest is to use it to talk about the different textures and shape, like the wooden ring is hard, the little balls are softer, you know, and things like that. As well as the different shapes of the beads, because some of them are circles, some of them are kind of like diamond shaped. But again, I think that's a little bit more further down the road. Another toy he didn't play with initially, like at 3 months, but now he's getting the hang of and really liking, are those little blocks. So 2 of them, these 2, like the blue and the yellow one, have little bells in them, and the 2 pastel color ones are crinkled. So He loves crinkle stuff, so he clearly loves those. As well as the one he really likes is the blue one because it's higher contrast than the other ones. So we use that one when we were on tummy time just to like get him to like eventually crawl, you know, like he tries to get to it. He's not moving yet, but he's trying. And I guess one really cool thing about these is that, well, I find them particularly aesthetically pleasing compared to a lot of other kids' toys. Like they're not that aggressive, tons of colors and things like that. They're a little bit soothing to the eye, to be honest. And the way they're designed is each one of them has a different shape. So this one here is a square, this one's a triangle, a circle, as well as a star. They kind of all have the same different patterns on each side. So this one is like dark background contrast, you have the light background contrast with tiny little triangles, then you have the same thing but like with one big triangle like this, as well as one that's a little bit of half and half and one that's a full color. So that's interesting. I'm sure there's a lot to do with this eventually when they get bigger. So so around 4 and 5 months now, he really enjoys those. So the way we use them, the first one again is on tummy time. We especially like to use this one. So when he's on tummy time, we put one of the high contrast image on, and he tries to go and reach it to encourage him to crawl. As well as we'll put them in front of him when he's on his tummy, as well as now that he's starting to sit, we put them in front of him when he's sitting, and he likes to grab them. And so especially with the crinkly ones, he likes playing with them. Single hand, huh? Single hand. And we started trying to stack them, and he knocks them over, but I don't think it's intentional quite yet. It's just because he doesn't know how it works. But eventually he'll knock it down on purpose. That's one of the things babies do. And another thing we use, like because they make sound, is we can use them kind of for visual as well as auditory, like following of his head. So he likes that as well. And like I said, eventually we'll be able to describe them like for the shapes, but not quite yet. And another way he does use them, that's not on the card, but that he does use them is also to chew them. Because like I said, he likes chewing on fabric things. And those are just like, you can put those in the washer, so I don't know how long they'll last before they're very disgusting, unfortunately. But he does like to chew on those. So if you put them in front of him, especially when he's sitting, he'll bring them to his mouth and he'll just like, and try to shove them in his mouth. And he likes, obviously, the crinkle ones even better than the ones with bells right now. The next toy is this little kind of knotted ball. What do they call it? The knot ball. And it has a bell in it, so it makes a little bit of sound. He hasn't shown that much interest towards it yet. We have been kind of presenting it to him, but he's not quite into it yet. Just because he doesn't seem to have that much interest in bells yet. He likes crinkle, but not bells yet. But some of the things he can do is put it between their hands, but whenever we do that, he just drops it. Like, he hasn't been able to hold on to it quite as well as these, but it's probably just because it's a lot bigger. Then when he's on his back, he can put it on his tummy, and he'll bounce it with his hand and his feet. Again, hasn't shown that much interest. It kind of just rolls off because he won't hold it. It's designed so that he can grasp onto the rope like this with his little hand, but he hasn't been able to hold on to it yet. He can't sneak his hand in there just yet, and even if we put his hand there, he kind of lets it go and it goes away. And another thing you can do with it is with the sound, kind of make him follow it, and he'll do a little bit of that, but again, it's not the most attractive toy for him, and especially because it's dark, he doesn't really feel like following it as much as something that's high contrast like this or this. So yeah, we haven't been using it a lot yet, but I'm sure as soon as he can figure out how to hold on to it a little bit better, he'll love tossing it, because he's starting to love tossing things. What we do use, not Kiwico related, but what he does like to use right now is this, which is kind of similar features as this, just because he can get his fingers in there, he kind of gets stuck, and then he can hold on to it that much better than this so far. So I'm assuming eventually he will love this as much, and because it's fabric, he'll probably love to chew on it as well, but he hasn't figured that one out yet. And finally, the last toy in this box is actually a little book, and it's actually a bath book. So what's really cool is that you'll see, like, when you open it, like it looks like it's completely like black and white almost. But let me use some water. So I'll pour a little bit of water from my water bottle and show you. So I have some water in my hand, and if I put it on, it's dripping everywhere. This is bad demonstration. But as you can see, when you put it with water, the colors show, which I find so cool. So yeah, if you use that in the bath, then it gets wet and then the colors show. So I thought that was super cool. It's a very simple book with like 4 tabs, you know, so just a handful of pages, very little text, but it does have a lot of words that you'll be able to learn eventually, like apple, banana, orange, avocado, bamboo, things like that, with different activities during the day and some vocabulary words. So that will have a very long longevity. I'm sure you'll love to even chew on that eventually. But yeah, I think the whole like watercolor thing is absolutely very cool. And when he's older, you'll even be probably able to use like a paintbrush and actually intentionally get the things to show in colors. So I'm sure this will have a very long life in our collection, so I'm really excited about that. And finally, the last thing that's in the box are those Beyond the Crate little activities. So for the Sense With Me one, they have a sensory bottle, splash zone, sumptuous scent, as well as kick, crinkle, wow. I won't go into the details about what this is because obviously you'd have to get the box to know what they recommend, but those are 4 activities that have nothing to do with the toys, but that you can do that are age appropriate to help your child's development, basically. So I always like to look at those because they have some really good ideas that are super simple. So that concludes the Sense With Me Kiwico Panda Crate box. As you can see, there's a lot more useful things in this one than the first one, and I think as my baby gets bigger and I get the other boxes, a lot of the stuff will be more useful because initially, obviously, like they're not really into toys all that much, but he's starting to get into certain toys, and most of these toys I believe will be useful for like beyond 1 year almost. So it's not because they're designed for the 3 to 4 months that I'll just use them for a month and then be done with it. So that's basically everything I had for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have the box, let me know how you like it. I hope this was useful, and yeah, thanks for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you with more videos very soon. Bye. I'm thinking. Video games. They even play cornhole. Of course, the fishing. Now, fellas, in the 33
focus,
hours,
okay.
But in the 33 hours that I've been out of
Wow.
it's been really unique and really awesome just to see the world's greatest athletes on the campus walking around, playing mingling, different players.
Whoa.
Well, I mentioned the fishing. We've seen that on social media. Well, how about the fact that with fish, to make sure the players would catch all those. Oh my goodness. There's some of everything, this is art. These guys catch a fish. Good stuff. They only played in about 12 games for the Clippers before they suspended play of the season. So he was
Come on, you can take it.
Pickup for this Clipper team. Yeah, and if you're Doc Rivers, you're looking at big picture. You're looking at the Lakers because they're going to need bodies. And George, Marietta, Marcus Morris to that mix. There's more length to go against LeBron. Here comes Davis with the hesitation and final time attack. Already with 3 assists, LeBron the number 1 as this man in the NBA. Here's Paul George. And the line against Davis. And double the play and foul on the play. As Kawhi was going up, sandwich on the play. Foul called on Green, who picks up his first. So the Clippers tonight will be without Lou Williams. He is still in quarantine. They're without Montrezl Harrell. They're also without Patrick Beverly. Now the Lakers, we mentioned this earlier, Avery Bradley is out. He's been such a big key to that number 3 defensive rating for the Lakers. He's taken his place in the starting lineup, Contagious Caldwell-Pope. And also Rajon Rondo. He broke his right thumb. Had surgery. He's out for about 2 months. Here at Orlando tonight, the NBA on TNT is brought to you by the all-new Seltos. All-wheel drive from Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. And by Auto Trader, the only one with Kelly Blue Book. Finally, it's easy. And already after this
first quarter, something I've noticed is that Greg Vogel is putting Anthony Davis a lot of times on Kawhi Leonard in the lane. That's the quick movement like we need to get around Noah. So Tony used that length versus Kawhi Leonard on the defensive end. How about Jimmy Kainoa? This is now his first game for the Clippers after being signed. The play there by Jackson. He gets to the first round. Jackson.
Single hand, huh? Single hand.
You got Reggie Jackson in the starting lineup.